and start recording, but yeah, I was looking at an article for the VOD that was saying like, oh, like it made it seem like Israel Palestine was like the third reason, like most reason why she's not doing well. And like the number one reason was like inflation, and I'm like, there's no way the number one reason in Michigan is inflation. Like that's their big top issue. Like no way. It's absolutely like, especially for the people she needs to win, Israel Palestine. It is not inflation. That is stupid. And it's also, I think inflation's at like 2% right now. So like, I don't know why people are still sleeping. Well, I get it, because, you know, the Republicans have only talked about like the entire time, but yeah, it's 2.5. 2.5. Like, who cares, dude? Like, I feel like that's nothing. You know, like, and like also inflation went down from 8% with the Inflation Reduction Act. It actually worked and inflation did go down. So yeah, if you also want to talk about that and like who you trust in the economy, yeah, the Democrats actually brought down the inflation. Now I'm sure like the ways they did it weren't the best, but like if you're just actually looking exclusively at inflation, like the Democrats, they brought it down. So like I don't see what the issue is, you know, like 2.5, and this is a top, like one of the biggest issues in America. 2.5% inflation. Like, why aren't people talking about that more whenever like Trump brings up inflation and all that, which he does all the time? It's 2.5. Like that's nothing, especially compared to like what it was before at 8. Like sure, if it was at 8, sure, but it's at 2.5. Like who cares? You know, like, and it's still going down. I even looking at the months, like it's still going down. Like that's insane. Like that's crazy. Like, yeah, let's go from 1929 to 2024. Is there like just a graph? I don't think so, but yeah, I think it's also with inflation is that the really high inflation rate that was caused from Trump, because obviously inflation does not happen overnight. It takes time. You know, it's kind of like how the Inflation Reduction Act, like it's the same with the immigrants. Like, how are you going to deport 11 million immigrants just all at once? You know, like obviously it takes time. Like, and also I'm not saying deport like immigrants. That's why I'm saying that's the question you ask them, because obviously they're not going to be able to answer that. But like a mass deportation of 11 million, it's not going to happen. But like, yeah, the inflation rate is so meaningless, and like Democrats actually did do the job in making it better, and like Trump was the one who made it bad in the first place. Because like people always blame the economy on the current president, which is like, sure, maybe like the last year or so, like you can maybe blame it on them, but like after that, like why? Like, or before that rather, like you shouldn't. Like second term also, like I'm sure you could, but like yeah, their first term, like beginning of their first term, you can't blame that really on the president. You blame it on the previous president, you know. I think oftentimes the Democrats just had to come in and fix it, you know, like, and then bring it back down. Like, it's insane. But yeah, like inflation shouldn't even be a talking point. It's stupid, and I think it's one of the highest talking points, and it's dumb. I think getting rid of price gouging also will help with inflation too, because I think most of it at this point is greedflation. Like, it's not even like actual like real factors. It's just greedflation. You know, like At this point, the companies aren't even hiding it. At this point, you know. But yeah. It also in the article said like, oh, I think they were expecting to win by like 5 points, but Trump's like brand is just too strong. But like, I don't think that's true. I think if you legitimately like would have gave progressive policies, which it seemed like with the walls pick, that was what you were going to do, and then you didn't do it. And then with the Israel-Palestine stuff, like if you just said called for an arms embargo on Israel, I think you would have had 5 points. And the thing is also with that, because how close this election is going to be, there could be at least some credibility. Like obviously there wasn't because he lost every court case, but like obviously the closer it's going to be, the more people are going to question the election results. So also if you win by like 5 points, I'll just pull it up. Like, so like if Michigan went by 5, right? So let's just edit it by like 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Florida's tilt, right? We're not talking about like, oh, if these states like are even close. No, they're not. We're talking about Florida being the one that's neck and neck. Now, if this was the year 2000, that would matter, but obviously in this case, it doesn't. So, yeah, it wouldn't even be a discussion. Is the thing. Wouldn't even be a discussion. So, yeah, that's another part of it as to why it's smart to do that stuff as well and try to gain more voters instead of this stupid narrative of just like, oh yeah, like, you know, it's these like few in the middle are undecided, which apparently there's still people out there, which is insane to me. But like, yeah, it's crazy. Like you have Ohio and Iowa lean. I think Texas is like 1 point up. And I don't believe the Texas Minnesota thing. Like I think Minnesota is still going to Kamala more than Texas is going to Trump. I'm gonna be fully honest. Again, unless there's like election shenanigans in Texas, I don't see that happening. Yeah, you have Ohio, Iowa lean, Maine 2nd District lean, like Mississippi likely, like Montana likely. I think Alaska's also like 1 point away from being lean. And yeah, obviously again, like Florida, yeah, 0.06 in Florida. That's how insane it'd be. Yeah, and then Alaska's 1 point away switching. Oh, Texas is still up 2. Oh, right, because I didn't, like, I still don't believe that. That's like the main thing, like I just put my foot down that. But yeah, like, these are up 2. And Nevada's almost likely, like, it's insane. Like, and I feel like that's what it would be if you just said, like, honestly, just like free healthcare, universal healthcare, which I think she did say in like 2020 and then just stopped doing it. And an arms embargo. You would definitely have Michigan by a hefty margin. I think at least like 3 probably, right? Wisconsin, I think you would win because I think was it only like 10,000 in Wisconsin? It wasn't as big, but like I think you would win by like 1 or 2. Pennsylvania, you'd probably win, right? And then like you would probably tack on some of these other ones. Well, actually, because I'm only including Israel Palestine. If I include universal healthcare, then yeah, these are for sure going to be higher. And I think these lean margins would be accurate. Not maybe necessarily by that much, like as much they're here, but maybe like a point and a half. But like, I do think they'd be lean. And like, yeah, maybe we're even talking about like Texas going blue, you know? Like, we could maybe be talking about that. But yeah, it's what makes me so annoyed. Because this election was the easiest to win, like, by a mile. This is what the election should look like, if we're being honest. This is what it should look like. And also, I actually didn't point out Indiana is also likely. But, like, this is what the election should look like. You know, if we were competent and we also cared for the people and we weren't bound by money, a green piece of paper with ink on it, this is what the result would be. And I'm sure even this would probably flip. I mean, even that, like, that's neck and neck, dude. Like, and like, yeah, I think it could go either way. And I think Texas, honestly, like, would be best electoral votes. Why is that a thing? Like, let me edit Texas, because, like, I think, honestly, it would be, okay, why am I on Biogen? I think it would be, like, Tilt, honestly. I think it would be Tilt or, like, a point, you know? That's how I feel about it. Actually, if I put on lean, will it say it's by 1 point? Okay, yeah. So I'll just do that then. Like, that's honestly what I believe would happen. It would be within 1 point of winning. Yeah, like, you even have Iowa and Ohio, who the freaking VP for Donald Trump is from, lean. Like, it's a no-brainer, dude. This election was not about courting, like, people in the middle, right? Like, that's not what this election was about. It was about getting progressives out there. Because if you notice, she's doing worse with young voters than how like Biden was doing, right? And that's because she has like no progressive policies, or like the ones that she does, she doesn't talk about them. Like the price gouge, like banning price gouging is like a big one, and I feel like if she ran on that, like she'd be much more popular. But she doesn't do it. It's just in her platform, just hidden there, and she doesn't do anything with it. And like, it's like, what are we doing, man? Like, I don't understand. It bothers me so much. Like, because I think just what bothers me the most about this election is that it should not even be close. It shouldn't be. It should realistically be this, maybe even like freaking this, right? And like people are like, oh well, you don't get landslides like electoral college landslides like we do like now. Like the thing is, like, you would if you just had progressive policies. The problem is like, because they're both trying to go like center or like right, you're just alienating the whole left side of voters, right? So that's why they don't vote. And it even includes in normies, dude. Like a lot of people, I think, even in like who seem to be in the middle and like undecided, that's because they aren't giving them anything that will help them. You know, like they aren't saying policies that will help them. And that's the issue. Like they're not running on progressive policies. And if you did that, you would gain votes. But it's very clear they don't care. This is what happens when you have two bourgeoisie parties, you know? Like, not to quote Lenin or anything, but like, this is what happens. Because if Kamala was a progressive and for the people, this is probably what would happen, you know? Like, and I don't think that's an understatement. Like, I don't think this is that outlandish. Like, maybe, okay, maybe these would be like lean, but like, I don't think overall this would be that outlandish of a result at all. You know, like if it was like Bernie, you know, like it'd be done. Unfortunately, like Bernie's too old at this point, even though like he's still like doing great. It's just, yeah, for 4 years, it's not the greatest idea. But yeah, I honestly believe like it would be something like this. If you just ran progressive policies, you cared for the people, like you didn't have any underhanded means or like, or what is it, where I'm looking like a hidden motive, like a secondary motive of just like a bourgeoisie party and like, oh, you gotta like pay the rich people, like, because at the end of the day, they still do that, you know? And I think if you just ran on progressive policies, this would be the result. Maybe even this. And this would be the biggest blowout performance, I think, in a very long time. Yeah, we've done even better than Clinton in '92. It would have been since H.W. Bush. It would have done even better than Clinton in '92. Like, let me just get back to it. Is this under custom? Oh, it kind of is actually, yeah. Because yeah, if you have this, right, 389, and I think Clinton had 370, didn't he? So yeah, that's the thing. And like in my mind, I was like, oh well, she'll probably like outperform. But like, yeah, the thing is like she's losing on all demographics compared to Biden, and like support. So like I don't know where that extra help would be other than just white people. But like that's not gonna help her in the swing states, because you kind of need those demographics. You know, you need every person you can get, and I don't think those white people will be enough. I do think though that is why she's gonna do better, like than Biden and a lot of these like Republican states. But like as far as the swing states go, she's not gonna do that well, because like she's gonna win all the white people in the freaking Republican states, you know, which doesn't do her anything. Like it doesn't do her much. Like you need to win the people in these locations, which is why Muslim population, Arab Americans are very important. It is super important. And it's why you shouldn't like just overlook it, underestimate their power. Like even looking at Twitter, there was like I think 20,000 people protest in New York City, which granted there's a lot of people in New York City, but like that should be saying something, right? The uncommitted movement in Michigan had 100,000 people that vote uncommitted over Biden. That should be screaming like red flags, or like alarm bells should be ringing, something. And yet they're not doing anything. Like it hasn't for them, because at the end of the day they don't care. Because again, if they did care, this would probably be the result. And I'm not joking when I say that. Like honestly, Louisiana's at 15 there. Throw that in likely. And like I feel like this is not even like what that one guy was saying where Trump's gonna win Virginia. Like that was insane. Like, because also this is a hypothetical, right? This isn't like real. But like, yeah, I truly believe like this is at least possible, you know. And also, if you had an electoral map like this, like let's even go over to the Senate, right? I think Allred is performing better than Kamala in Texas. I think Debbie's doing better than freaking Kamala. Tester's doing better, but I don't know. That might be the push he needs. I'm not entirely sure. I think Dan Osborne would win, even though like that's a deep red state. I think Dan Osborne would still win, right? Because even like if you look at it with, oh, did it not save it? I don't think it saved it. I should have saved it. But even if you look at it with like, let me shift it over 4 again. Nebraska at large becomes likely. So like I feel like even then they would be more willing to go out there and like vote too. Like just for that as well. I think you'd have more enthusiasm there as well. So also like if we were just to do that then, right? I need to make an independent one. Is there just like a gray one? Okay, yeah. Cool. Independent. It did not say the name. Perfect. Dick. Oops. That's how you spell it. Why does it not work? Why can't I change the name? That's so weird. Like, I'm not... Okay. Like, it shows it there. Oh, is it because I'm not on... Wait. Oh, dang it. I think it was because I was on a certain menu. Maybe not. If I do that, then... Nope, okay. Yeah, I think you get that. You know, screw it. We're not gonna mess with that. You get that. I think, honestly, Cher would go into... lean. I'm not joking. I think Cher would go into lean. I think Allred would win. I think Debbie has a real chance of winning, right? And then Tester has a a decent shot at winning as well, right? Like, which I would think, if we were gonna say like if all of them win, right? Oh shoot, you would do this. I think you would do that. And I think also for a lot of these races, they would go into safe. I don't remember all their polling data, but I think honestly a few of these Senate races would be safe. So yeah, there's also that. Yeah, and I think that would be lean Dan Osborne, honestly. Because Osborne's already up as is. Like, maybe even likely for Osborne? I'll just give him lean, but like, if he's already up now, like, imagine what a progressive platform would have given him, you know? And I'm sure, like, some of these would have been likely, but I'm not gonna really bother to mess with that. Like, maybe Missouri's becomes likely or something. I'm not gonna bother with it. But yeah, like, it's crazy how if you just look at it. Actually, I think Missouri's is probably gonna be likely. Regardless, doesn't really matter. Like, it also been huge in the Senate too, because like, look at that majority. And I know Dan Osborne would more likely do a caucus with Democrats. So like, then you add all that. I guess for like maybe better representation, I can just do like this, even though obviously he's independent. Like, that's a 53-47 majority, which I think is the biggest since like 2018. Yeah, it would tie 2018 for how big of a majority it was. And there hasn't been a bigger one since 2014. And that both of them have been the Republicans in both cases. Democrats wouldn't have had that big of a majority since 2012. 12 years. And wouldn't you know, it was also an election year. So yeah. That's like how big this is. And then also this could even go to like House elections. I'm not sure how close a lot of these are. But like, I'm sure that would also carry over to the House as well. Like, you know, it's insane. Was it Race to 270? Because I think they have Race to 270. Oops. Race to 270 House. I think they have like, yeah, they already have it set up. But yeah, they already have Democrats winning the House. There's like 11 House seats that are like toss-ups, and they already have the Democrats winning. But like, imagine on top of that then, because like I assume then like a lot of these would flip. Like if we, let's just say, you know, like all of these flip for Democrats, which is maybe a little unrealistic, but you know, we'll just say that they do. Oops, I think that one was a like misclick there. I might have to zoom in with New York. Hang on. Oh no, I got all of them. To go back. Boom, boom. Okay, I got all of them. 231 majority in the House, which that has not been done since 2018. But like, still, like, I feel like especially now we're in an era where they're trying to make the majorities like as small as possible, right? And I think that is by design. I think they literally get money, like big corporations, or like there's like super PACs, something like that, just get a lot of money from that. So like, yeah, that is entirely by design. Yeah, this is like even like not counting this isn't counting freaking, wow, they have Jim Jordan's seat going Democrat. That's crazy. And Latta's. That's crazy. Really? Wow. Okay. I mean, it'd be great if Jim Jordan got out of there. But Latta won his by like 35, didn't he? Yeah, it won by 34. Same with like Jim Jordan won by 38. So I'm surprised that they're actually losing from what this has. Yeah, maybe this will be a huge year for Democrats then, if that's the case. That's crazy. Yeah, that that is wild. I did not realize they had that going on. Which also, I feel like that's a huge slap in the face of JD Vance, right? And just shows how bad he is. Oh yeah, that's also a Republican seat too. This is gonna be. Hang on, let me just. So they're flipping. Ida, Jordan, and this seat. Ohio's gonna be more like have more Democrat seats, is what they're predicting, than Republican. That's insane. Is that 13th district too? 7. They also have 7 going. And yeah, I don't think they're losing any districts. They have a 9-6 Ohio Democrat House setup. That's insane. I didn't even realize they had that. I mean, like, if that's the case, how is Sherrod Brown, like, this close then? This would make me feel like it'd be a blowout for Sherrod Brown. If that's the case, right? Like, if they have this, like, set up like that, like, that's insane. They're, like, they're predicting that. Or are they just saying, like, it's an improvement? Because this is still saying they're winning. Is it just saying that they like improve from like the previous year? That's what it seems like. That's what that means. But like, I don't think so, right? Because this says how many seats they're going to win, right? I feel like it'd be weird if it didn't. I'm very confused of like what this point means. Yeah, they also said that these following races are ranked as safe. Did I click on these by accident? I don't think I did, right? Let me reset the map. Oh, I guess I did. Did I do that? Why was it 220 already? Maybe I did change those. I didn't realize, because I was like, what? Like, that didn't seem right. Yeah, I don't ever remember being on this website. If that was me that did it, I don't remember doing that at all. I have no recollection of that. See, I was very confused. I was like, why is that happening? Okay, maybe then, hang on, let me, is it still the same margins or something like that? Like, let me just see. Like the same margin if I just move all the toss-ups. Right? Because I talked about that thing earlier and yeah, apparently I was wrong. So let's maybe go back through and change them. Because I need to get to my point of, you know, progressive policy. Okay, so it would be what, 222? Oh no, there's still 6 seats. I'm missing some. Are they in California? Oh yeah, they're there. Dude, that's so hard to click. Okay. One like Texas they're missing. Where's the last seat? Does it say? Well, it probably does. But I have to like scroll through all these probably. God dang it. What's the one I'm missing? Oh, Alaska. I'm an idiot. It's the giant freaking one. Yeah, 228, 207. Which that would mean it'd still be better than 2020. Yeah, it would not be as great. I think that some of these house seats would outperform though. Like, I really do. if like you're bringing states up that much, like to even how I had in the presidential election, right? Like you'll be fine. You'll, like, if I just go back to it, right? And then I also even have like this potentially happening, right? I'm just gonna throw this until just like making that seem super outrageous, but like, yeah, if you had like something like this, right? You're gonna get so much more enthusiasm in those lower, like, down ballot races, dude, to like get the like, Democrats like elected, you know, and like actually make it so you can get those changes done. That's another thing too, is like I feel like people then will realize, oh shoot, like I should vote for the House and like Senate that are in the same party, because then they'll actually get the stuff done. Because like then that would also be like a light bulb moment for them as well. But yeah, this is honestly how I feel like it would be if you just ran progressive policy. I truly do. I think Wisconsin would probably be lean, but I think you would, this would be like the result. And like I honestly, the political articles I was saying that, or like the one person who was saying that in the political article, like, yeah, no, I think it was possible. Like the thing is, like, if it was any Republican running, I think it would be a blowout for Republicans. And if Kamala just ran progressive policy, it'd be a blowout for Democrats. You know? It's just that simple. Like, the reason why it's so close is because both parties did the worst job they possibly could to, like, gain people, right? Like, gain voters. They did the worst possible job imaginable. And this is American politics in 2024. It sucks too, because like I feel like the future is so bright if we get past this. Right? I feel like it's so bright. But if Trump wins, then well, we have to deal with him for at least 4 years, probably longer. And we're gonna have to do a lot of rebuilding. Like starting out. So yeah. And again, I do want to remind people, don't, you know, all like don't hate on the people who aren't voting for Kamala because of Israel-Palestine, because that's the thing. Look at it more of a prerequisite in order for those people to vote with you. I mean, because that's literally what it is. Like, they, like, if Kamala just changed her rhetoric on Israel-Palestine and would say like, oh, I'm getting an arms embargo, like I'll give an arms embargo, then those people would vote for her. And I'm sure like if the Uncommitted movement endorsed her, you basically get all of those votes, which is why I also say like, then like, yeah, she would be winning like by like a pretty significant margin. Yeah, maybe not likely, but like at least like I'm sure like close likely, maybe like 3 to 4. How much she'd win by. But yeah, like it's ridiculous to me that we're still on this. Like honestly, it seems to me it shouts way more that they care more about money and a green piece of paper with ink on it than they care about either human lives and human suffering and also democracy. They don't care about it, which I mean also should have like been made pretty clear, because I think most Democrats in the House just gave up when like Biden was like in the race still and like he was losing by a lot. Democrats didn't even like bother to like run a new candidate. It was like Nancy Pelosi who basically had to do it. Like Hakeem Jeffries. I don't think he was really on board for it mainly, but Pelosi was. Yeah, it was really just her that had to like step in and be like, hey, we need you to step down. And also all the polling. That too. Like all the inside polling that was like, hey, we're gonna lose because you're still here. Like that's the thing. I think part of the reason why they also made that decision was because the media attention was so strong on it. So that's also why you should help them with it and make a big stink about it, so it gains national attention and basically covers like it just dominates the media space, you know, because that's what happened with Biden, and that's when eventually he dropped out. Now, to be fair, again, it was the polling data, but still, like, I feel like you should still make a big stink about it, which people are trying to do. It's just they're not listening. And if they did listen, then yeah, I think this election would be done. Like, I feel like even honestly at this point, because I think what was different with Hubert Humphrey, in his case, when he didn't support, like, or didn't oppose the Vietnam War, was that I think Nixon did. I think he ran on that and then he did oppose it. So a lot of people just went to Nixon instead of Humphrey. But I think in this case, I don't know if it would be like a too late issue, because I think a lot of those people just aren't voting. Or I guess maybe they're voting third party, so you could also like stop them from voting third party. You know, instead of trying to make it illegal for them to vote third party, you can just try and win those voters, you know, like a sane person. But yeah, I don't know, man. Like, yeah, I forgot what I was saying, which is kind of why I'm just like filling space. Yeah, I just think they are very much underestimating the Israel, like the Arab population and like young voters with Israel-Palestine. It's why like I want to make a big stink about it, but like I really can't. I think what I might do tomorrow is just look at a bunch of, because it seems like Kamala's not helping, look at a bunch of like ads run against like senators like in close races, like Sherry Brown, maybe like Allred and Debbie and Dan Osborne, maybe, if potentially John Tester, and just kind of like debunk them and then make TikToks of them. That might be something I just do my own time, honestly. Because I think also I'm not like prepared enough to just to like go on and stream about it, because I'd have to be like looking up like studies and all that as I'm going. So that might just be something better to do like off stream, and I just record that on my own. But yeah, I think that's something I want to do. So like people at least go out and vote for the senators. So even if, because Trump has a real chance of winning, so if Trump wins, you at least have like majority in the Senate and the House, so they can't really do much. I don't know if Project 2025 has a workaround. It probably does, but you know, it's the most like we the people could do with our votes, you know. And I feel like it's the most I could do in my position. It's just like making those TikToks and just like debunking them. Because I feel like also like the best, like how you get the best candidate is you critique them. You critique their weaknesses, which is why I don't really like the like Kamala's wins like Twitter accounts or stuff like that, because like it just kind of doesn't mention any of her flaws, or like sometimes like something that was actually bad they just put under a win for her, and it's just like that's not great. Like you need to criticize them. And I think because we're in an era with like Trump, people don't stop to think like, oh yeah, like criticizing would actually probably be good, because then like that's how you get better policies, you know. If you like, it's basically like asking them like, hey, can we get this policy please? That's why like the uncommitted movement's trying so hard, like as hard as they are, is because of that. So yeah, like, you know, maybe you should also critique her, because I don't think you're gonna lose support for Kamala if you critique her, like her legitimate weaknesses, especially with like Israel-Palestine. Like that's not gonna change. I did also see in that article though that people were like, oh, I guess she's in a rock and a hard place, because like, oh, she's got to balance the people who want to support Israel. And it's like, those people are like much smaller, especially in swing states. Like, even electorally, that's stupid. That's a stupid argument, because That's like the main issue in Michigan. Wisconsin had a decent chunk, right? And I'm sure like all of the other swing states have those people, right? So like it's a stupid argument to make. You lose like a few people, like what is it, like California, like Wyoming maybe? Oh no. You know, like those people were never part of your base to begin with. If they like lost your support because you just don't want to support genocide anymore, you know, like those people were never a part of your base. Like, let's be real. Those are the people who are ecstatic about Dick Cheney endorsing Kamala, you know? Like, let's be real. That's like nobody. Why is she seeking endorsements from freaking Dick Cheney? Who benefited from a war, by the way, of killing a bunch of civilians. Now, where have I heard that before? Insane, dude. Insane. It is stupid. And like, I didn't pay much mind to it at first when people were like, oh, Kamala ran a horrible campaign in 2020. But like, yeah, no, I feel like it's really showing with this one. It really is. Because, again, this should be the result, what we're looking at right now, probably. Not where we are. You know, not in this timeline. I feel like this timeline should have been where we're at, not where the timeline we're in now. You know? And like, that's the thing, like, this is just like 2 issues probably that have changed realistically. Like, this is probably just like universal healthcare and digital Palestine. This is how I feel. You know? Like, you just need to request those 2 things. Like, and I don't think this is outlandish. Like, I guess maybe you could make it so, like, or kind of like tilt or something like that, right? Or like, maybe like Georgia too, because they've had some like election shenanigans going on. But like, I don't think this is outlandish. And I guess, yeah, maybe throw Florida back in tilt again. But yeah, I think at most this would be what Republicans would do. I feel like this would be an overperformance for Republicans in that case. So yeah, I think it was the main reason I just wanted to stream, because I just wanted to vent that, and I know I wasn't going to be able to sleep if I just took that to me with that with me to bed. Because I know there was another time I had something like that before, and I could not sleep for like 2 to 3 hours, like the first 2 to 3 hours, just could not sleep. So yeah, I'm hopefully trying with this to just vent my frustrations, and then, because I feel like my stream honestly is really just therapy for me. At this point, it really is. So yeah, like, sorry. Yeah, I just wanted to do that to just like kind of vent. But I feel like also, like, again, they're just really underestimating. And I think it's just because it's Biden's advisors as well, and it seems like they're just old farts who don't know anything about progressives and what they actually want. You know, that's really what it feels like. I think what bothers me the most, though, is like Tim Walz knows how to win voters, right? He did that in 2006, and yet, like, he just is not doing it. He took a district that, like, the dude won by 24 points in, he won by 5 in it. Like, that's insane, dude. That's nuts. Like, what the frick, man? Like, he was so good, he almost made the next Democrat win in that House district. Like, that's insane. And like, yeah, no, they just have gotten nothing from it at all. And it sucks. Yeah, because he's just kind of like, because I think also for some reason there's like a stigma with vice presidents too, where they just can't go against the president at all. And like, if I was the vice president, like chosen as that, I would be calling out their weaknesses and what I think they're doing stupid right away. Because, you know, I'm supposed to be their greatest advisor, you know? Like, that's really the only thing the vice president can do is like be an advisor to the president, and like they have like the tie-breaking vote in the Senate. That's it. They can't do like anything else. I think they're like the head of the Space Force or something weird like that, or like NASA. But like, again, like it's really it. They don't have many powers, which also is like the whole like, oh, Kamala like was in office for the last 4 years and did nothing. It's like, she's the vice president. She could really, and other, except be a tie-breaking vote. That was it. But yeah, like, all right, something else is important with the Senate majority too is like that would be Walz as at the head of the Senate too, who's like the most bipartisan member, right? If they ran progressive policy. So like that also would probably give them boosts and like getting people to vote a certain way. Maybe not with how partisan everything's been at this point, but like, yeah. I think that's the thing, man. Democrats just still haven't grasped the fact that like you can't be bipartisan on issues. You have to be partisan. And like the thing is, Republicans have figured that out since Reagan, and the Democrats still haven't done that. Like they still just like want to agree with them on issues, and I think they just don't understand that you're losing people, or like people don't want to vote for you because you're just the exact same on that issue. You need to take the other side, especially like in a two-party system. You need to take the other side if you want to get votes. Like, it's ironic that like it seems like they want to follow how Reagan did it, but how Reagan did it was that he was so like, he was so far in on one side, like he was so right-wing. That's why he did so well. And like Democrats would do so well if they were just super left-wing, you know, but like they aren't. They're like this weird center-right like nonsense and like hypocrisy that is just like weird, dude. And like, yeah, some of them are really good, and then some of them are just like straight up conservatives, and it's just like, great. That's awesome, dude. I love that. But yeah, I do think, again, if we can either get past this election or like a second Trump term, like mostly unscathed, which I don't think would happen. I think there still would be at least some damage, right? But if either of those two occurred, I think more with the Trump thing, if that were to happen, like, and he somehow wasn't able to overthrow an election or like influence the voting like ballots or anything, which I feel like would show his incompetency, which I'm sure he would. But yeah, I don't necessarily know with the Kamala presidency. It would be very interesting to see though the 2028 primaries, because obviously Bernie's gonna be out of the picture. So yeah, you're not gonna vote for Bernie, but like the other like members of like the more progressive wing of the Democrats are getting older and are getting at like president age. So I feel like it'll be very interesting to see how that'll go. And I don't think there will be a 2020 case that'll happen, right? Where like Bernie basically just got screwed by like everybody else. That's an ad. I'm just mute the YouTube video. But like I don't think there'll be a moment where he just gets screwed, right? Or whichever candidate, right, is going to be running. I think there's going to be like because they're going to ask for progressive change, and I think that's all they need to do. I truly believe that. If you ask for the change, then like, yeah, people are going to get excited and they're going to want to vote for you. And then, yeah, I don't even think it matters what Republican is running, right? Like, I think even if it's, like, not Trump, I think that Republican still loses. Because, again, they're probably going to say the same talking points. At this point, like, what else are they going to do? Like, if I'm a Republican that has to follow up Trump, what am I going to do at that point, right? To gain people back? I don't know what I could do. Like, because if you do the same messaging, then, like, that's not going to work, right? Like, I think the main thing you could do is just, like, notice the weaknesses in, like, Democrats, like, messaging and take the other side of it. But I don't think you could do that with immigration. I think the only thing you can really do it with is foreign policy, which is what Trump did in 2016, and it worked very well for him. So, like, yeah, I don't know. I just don't think that a Democrat would do much better, or Republican rather. Like, I think it would actually be a Republican who would be more left-leaning, like the more like typical Republican. That's who would have to win. I don't think you could do like another one that's like MAGA or like more right wing or like the same level right wing. I don't think you could do that, especially with the a younger generation coming up again, right? I just don't think you could do that after this point. I think this is the best shot they have at like pushing like a far right government, because I think after this election, I think Kamala is gonna have a tough primary. I don't think she's gonna drop out, obviously. I don't think she's gonna resign. But yeah, it'll be very interesting to see how that primary go in 2028, because I don't think it's gonna be easy for Kamala, especially if she's just Biden 2.0. If she were to be elected again, like, if she is Biden 2.0, I don't think she's winning again, unless like there was like weird system of how the primaries worked, like this past election cycle, like, because I think those primaries also happened before. Oh wait, no, they didn't happen before, because the uncommitted movement, right? I'm dumb. Yeah, I think people were still like riding or dying with Joe at that point, but I think most people would be sick of that, like 8 years of like Biden Harris. I think they'd be sick of that by that point, so I think they would actually like want someone new, and then that's when a progressive can walk through. Or maybe even like if Pete Buttigieg is the same as he was, like, you know, before 2020, like maybe a Pete Buttigieg even like could win. I think that would be the closest to an establishment Democrat at this point as well that could feasibly win. I don't see an establishment Democrat winning another election, but maybe that's just me on a lot of hopium. I don't know. Like, I feel like, honestly, it's a lot more likely that the next Democrat candidate will be a progressive. Yeah, I guess it depends on how many old people are still around, you know? I mean, it's why Japan's also very conservative too, right? Because they also have a lot of, I think disproportionately, they have a lot of old people as well, compared to, like, younger people. It's like, yeah, they basically have, like, their Republican Party in power. So, yeah. I think once that switch happens, though, like, I don't see, because I honestly see the internet more as, like, it'll be a good thing for left-wingers. Especially, like, once we don't have fascists running social medias, and we have normal people running them, I think, yeah, I think, honestly, right-wing ideology is going to be dead for the most part. I think, again, the only reason it's thriving and flourishing now is because there's not enough policing on it, or, like, just outright banning it. But I think once you ban it or like police it a little bit, then yeah, I think right-wing ideology, which is like fascism, would just be dead. And then I think like progressive policies are gonna become vastly more popular, right? And I think even like the momentum for them too, because I feel like a lot of progressive movements just kind of stopped because they didn't have like other issues they really cared about as much. But I think if you have those people out there and like getting people motivated to like change those issues, right, I think that also will happen as well. So yeah, I actually see the internet as an overall good for progressive movements later on. It's just, again, you have to get those like freaking fascist weirdos out of owning these companies and like actually have normal people. Like I think even like liberals, honestly, you can just have a liberal on that and it'd be fine, as long as they're not like trying to do the horseshoe theory stuff. But I think you can still frame it in a way that like wouldn't seem like that, you know, like seem that radical, because I mean progressive policy is not radical. So I think you could probably frame it pretty easily. I think you would just literally have to not use like communism or like Marxism, like the labels, but like other than that you'd be fine. So yeah, I do see eventually like internet being an overall good for progressive movements. Maybe not necessarily like maturity and like other stuff, but again, I think that stuff you probably can like within the internet itself and like social media itself also deal with that in some way, right? I mean, I don't know how you really punish someone for being immature, because I'm just thinking of like how social media makes people more immature because they look at like a celebrity's acting and they're like, oh, I want to act like them, so then yeah, they do that. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, this is like a countrywide protest for Palestine and Lebanon. Even in Arkansas, there's a protest, dude. Oh, I think even, is that the UK that's also doing it? Crazy. Yemen's also doing that. But yeah, because this is like the 1 year anniversary, basically. It's 2 days away from being 1 year. Which seems crazy, but yeah. Oh, is it actually like 1 year? That's crazy. Like, it's crazy to me how people just see this and like are under, like they still just are underselling the impact of like if you just switch it. I guess like people are thinking, are they just thinking they're gonna be so hard-headed and still not vote for him anyway? Because like that's a stupid mindset to have. That's just stupid and like not how the world works, you know? Like, I don't know, that seems weird to me. But yeah, and like again, like it doesn't make any sense if your thing is like, oh well, I want to still keep the Israel people, because like they're not in the swing states. I guarantee you they are not in the swing states. And also like you probably lose like 5 people. Like, I mean, obviously this is like I understand, but it's like it's gonna be like 500 people, I think, where like if you support an arms embargo, you get like 200,000 people, right? And like that can probably be evenly distributed across, well, not evenly, but like distributed across the swing states, you know? Like, it's insane. Like, I'm not joking when I'm saying I think all she would need to do, like in her strategy to change it, is just say she would give an arms embargo on Israel. And if she did that, she wins. And it's like probably not even that close. Honestly, she probably wins all the swing states. Honestly, again, like maybe not Georgia if there's election shenanigans, but like other than that, I think she wins all the swing states. Because you have to think too, also, like I think that's the main reason why young people aren't voting, is because of Israel Palestine as well. So if you show that as well, I think a lot of young people will come out and vote as well. That's another thing. So Yeah, I think you get 2 of your main demographics back, and I think you would just need those 2 demographics back to win. That's all you need. And even just a little bit back. I think they would. Well, I think you would still lose some because like obviously this is very late to switch. Like it took a while for you to get there, but I think it would still probably be a little lower because I think there would still be some people who are betrayed. But I think you would still get a majority of those people back, you know? If you just switched it at this point. That's another thing. If I was VP right now, and I'm saying, like, if you legitimately think that you would lose, like, as many people who are supporting Israel than, like, that are supporting Palestine right now, that is a delusional take. Like, I don't know if you noticed, but, like, people are protesting Palestine, like, Lebanon. I haven't seen, like, anybody protest for Israel, at least, like, at this point. Like, I think there have been counter protests, but like I'm pretty sure they've been very small, especially recently. So yeah, that should also be pretty telling. Yeah, I just wanted to rant about all this, and like it was since like the walls debate, because I do know I was talking to him like, oh, you know, it's a good thing I streamed tomorrow so I can talk about the walls debate, like the VP debate. Like, yeah, Walls didn't do great. Because I feel like his goal should have been to win progressive voters, and he didn't do that at all. He just said the same Kamala talking points. And it sucks. Yeah, even, like, Kamala met with the freaking Muslim leaders, and it seems like she did the same talking points. Like, that was going to sway them. Like, what are you talking about, dude? Like, come on. What are we doing? It's so stupid. Like, even, like, she would get an endorsement from Chappelle Roan. That's her name, right? Roan Chappelle? Chappelle Roan, something like that. She also get an endorsement from that, because that's the main reason why she hasn't endorsed. I think it's a she, right? Chappelle Roan. Like, she hasn't endorsed either. You know? It's because of Israel-Palestine. Like, that's another thing, too. I feel like they just are severely underselling this. As like, well, I think also they just want to make it as close as possible. Like, they want to do the bare minimum to win is the thing, and I think they're seeing this as like the bare minimum right now. So like, they actually don't want to switch their stance on Israel-Palestine unless they absolutely have to. Like, it's insane. I feel like honestly, if you're like a legitimate Democrat and want to help the Democrats win, you just on polls just say like you're gonna vote Republican. Because then it seems like they actually like light a fire under their ass and actually like do something. You know? Like at this point, it seems like they don't really care, like unless, like if they're up, they don't care. They'll just do the bare minimum possible. It's only once they're losing that they're like, oh shoot, maybe we should change course. And even then, I think is when they're like legitimately losing. Like, I think they're losing steam in Michigan to the point where like polls might show in Michigan that Trump's ahead, but like again, they won't do anything until Trump's like ahead, I think, in most polls, and they're like, oh shoot, we should maybe do something. And it's very dumb. Yeah, if you're someone who really wants Kamala to win, and this is coming to liberals too, support the people who want an arms embargo to Israel, because if Kamala gives that to them, then they'll vote with you, and you basically have Michigan locked down. You got Wisconsin, you know, I would think you got Pennsylvania, and like that's all you need. But I think on top of that, she would just win all the swing states. And again, as I said earlier, like Trump saying that the election was stolen, rigged again, has much less ground. Like again, obviously, like I'm sure a lot of normal people would like say he's an idiot because the court cases, obviously they didn't find anything. But like, you know, I'm just saying like face value, because that's what a lot of Trump supporters do and Republicans do. They just look at it face value and don't really think about it. But yeah, if that was the results where she won all the swing states and like by pretty decent margins, especially in Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania, to where she would have already won, then like even at face value, like I feel like it would be kind of insane even for some of those Trump supporters and like Republicans who voted for Trump to be like, yeah, I don't think it was. I think that was a fair election. So yeah, there's also that. That's another reason why you should support their voices, the uncommitted voices. Because yeah, I feel like at this point, most of the uncommitted people who would vote Democrat are not in the middle; they're on the left. So you want to support those people and like help their voice be heard and help pressure Kamala so she switches her stance on it, and so they actually vote for her. Like, because I'm so sick of the freaking Hillary stuff of them just blaming leftists for like Hillary not winning. Because first of all, she ran a horrible campaign. She went after Missouri for some reason, and I think she lost it by like 15. And then second of all, like the politician's job is to get people's votes. It's not the person's vote. Like it's not their job to vote for the politician, right? That's not how a democracy should work. Democracy should work. It's just not. It should work on, you know, the candidates should try to win their votes. And even Hillary said that, like, oh, I hope to win your vote in like the debates. She didn't win their votes. Okay? Like, she didn't read the room well with like progressives. Because I'm sure that was part of it. She was very liberal. And also I think Hillary just in general was not liked. She had these scandals. So she lost. That's just how it works, you know? Like... It's like, stop blaming the freaking leftists, dude. I swear. It's so stupid. Like, why are we alienating the leftists, dude? It's so dumb. Like, let me just look at, because I'm still on the website of 2016. Like, yeah, she also just didn't, I think, campaign at all in the Great Lakes states. And she lost all of them. Like, I don't know what you expected. She campaigned Missouri, and it went to Trump by 18 points. So yeah, not a smart move from old Clinton there. Not the smartest move. Yeah, that's kind of just what happened. Like, it's just so dumb. Just to do that, man. It's so stupid. Yeah, so should expand the House more. And also abolish the Senate. Yeah, the Senate really is just for like deep red states or like deep blue states that don't have that big of a population, just to like have a disproportionate amount of representation. Because it goes both ways too. Like Vermont probably shouldn't have 2 senators, even though Bernie's a senator. Like, they shouldn't have 2 senators. Wyoming definitely shouldn't have 2 senators. Like, you know, and you can just kind of go back and forth between the two. But yeah, it's very stupid. I think Kamala said she wanted to abolish the filibuster if she were to be elected, and I think the Democrats have a majority in the Senate, right? Which I think that would mean DC would probably become a state, right? Because I think that was one of the things that was filibustered. Yeah. Yeah, it's just for political reasons why DC isn't a state. And it's very stupid political reasons. But it's just how the American government works, baby. And how stupid it is. You gotta love it, you know? Just how stupid it all is. Yeah, I've been going for like an hour 15. I think I got most I wanted out of my system. I think I also want to do this because like I didn't really want to be that political, even though I said like, well, I did change my mind, said I would do it off stream. But yeah, I think I just kind of wanted to do something for fun the next stream. I might still do something political though, because like people can like vote, like early voting, like I think, was it Monday? It's like 2 days from now. So like I think I'm gonna probably talk about that stuff. I might watch the ads anyway, just because like I think it's just gonna be very important, and like I don't trust myself probably to do it off stream. We'll see though. I guess we'll see come tomorrow what I'm feeling, you know. I didn't talk about Hololive at all. But you know, it's fine. I mean, to be fair, I just pretty much streamed here because I was upset with politics. That was the main thing. So yeah. Yeah, I really don't remember being on this map. I don't like the freaking Path to 270 map. I don't remember being on that at all. And like I guess it just like remembers what you put like exactly on it, which is crazy. Oh yeah, I will say though, with like the progressive stuff, I do think they would win Montana's first, because I think he only won his seat by 3 points. So I think they would also win Montana's first. So I also just wanted to say that. Yeah, he won it by 3 points. If they went progressive agenda, they would also definitely win Iowa's third. With that margin. Like I'm sure like a lot of the ones that honestly were lean would have switched, like they would have flipped. Like Arizona 6, which actually that's already looking like it's gonna flip. What was another one? New York 16th. Oh wait, 19th, I can't read. That one also flipping already? Yeah, it is. Like a lot of these, well I think these were like toss-ups. So like I think honestly a lot of the toss-ups probably are gonna go Democrat. Oregon's 5th, which I think that also, yeah, I switched it. These would be if they were progressive agenda. Like I definitely think they would switch if they were progressives. I definitely know I switched that one. Jersey 7th, I switched. California's 22nd, I don't remember. I think I switched that, but I'm not entirely sure. And I'm not going through California to look for it. Montana's 1st, I just switched. Virginia's 2nd. I switched Virginia's 2nd.
And more. Get YouTube music.
No, I didn't. Yeah, I think Virginia's 2nd would also flip. Like, I think all these lean ones would flip. New York's 4th. Which I don't know if I flipped that one. I have to go New York, god dang it. That was New York's 4th. That one is... Oh no, that one's already flipped. Okay. Yeah, I think if you ran progressive agenda, all the lean ones would go Democrat. Wisconsin's 3rd. That one would flip, I think. California's 41st and 45th. Are they in LA? 41's already flipped. Where's 45? There it is. Yeah, that one's also flipped. Yeah, so that'd be 231, 204. Then. So yeah, that would be pretty big. Yeah, I think that's probably where I'm at with all of that. So yeah, I should end it. Oh yeah, I haven't posted stuff on TikTok again, and I did notice that I I could actually upload on 16:9. So I think also I'll probably put game stuff on there too. If I have game clips, I'm gonna put those up there. I don't know if I'm gonna go with YouTube Shorts because it seems like TikTok's probably gonna be better for gaining an audience anyway. I think I'll still put the talkie ones on as YouTube Shorts and like the live action things I've been doing. Just so the algorithm doesn't hate me, like I'll probably do those as well. But I think otherwise, like game stuff would just be TikTok exclusives. Yeah, I am like I scheduled for those, so I might also upload like 2 TikToks a day because again, with the whole like debunking ad stuff, I want to put that on TikTok as well. So I might do like 2 a day or something like that if I have a debunking an ad one, you know. We'll just have to see. But yeah, I'll see you tomorrow for whatever I have in mind. Like whatever I feel like doing, I guess. It'll probably either be like a game or me debunking the political ads on stream. So we'll see. Because I think it would be better as like a TikTok if I did off stream where I did like the research and had the talking points and what I wanted to say beforehand, but we'll see. So yeah, I'll see you then. We'll figure it out.